Alright, this is latest 247. So I'm making this video now because I saw something trending online, which is this lady that went on a podcast to share her experience. Of course, you know that these days now, I mean, like everybody is starting a podcast. Like it's like me that is even dropping YouTube videos. Like we are making commentaries, not even selling. People are not viewing. People are not listening to me. But when you start doing podcasts and they start bringing people to talk about bizarre stories, some stories that are crude, some harassment and assault and all those kind of things, people seem to like listening to those kind of videos or those kind of podcasts. And because of that, these podcast hosts, a lot of the podcast hosts try their best to seek out, to look out for those that are damaged, those that have issues, that have gone through hardship, that those kind of issues, those that can give them those kind of stories so that they can get people to watch and then they can make more money. Which of course is business strategy. I mean you can call it business strategy for them, but again it puts those people that are involved in danger. Like but one good thing I know that they are doing that I have to comment, like when you see something good, you comment on it, is the fact that a lot of people that spill these stories usually cover their face, cover their faces to prevent stigmatization and the rest of it. But that doesn't really stop it, because to some extent, someone that knows you will know you, even if your face is covered, even if you're, even if you are not showing. Once they hear your voice, they know. And some not even hearing your voice. Once they see your body, they see your dress, they know, even if your face is covered. So eventually, you can still get attacked, you can still get mocked, you can still get made fun of, and that's exactly what just happened recently. Now, this lady went on this podcast to talk about how deals, challenges and the difficulties and everything when she was harassed and all of that, and the fact that she became, more like an addict, and then she had to always touch herself. You know what I'm trying to say there? To a point whereby even though she couldn't do it, she had to get dogs to now, keep her company and continue to get her aroused and everything like that to fill her sexual needs. Now, this is very disgusting to hear, and it's disgusting to know that this is happening. But we can't deny the fact that we've heard of this severally. In the past, we've heard of the case of the one that happened in Dubai, where some rich man pay. Of course, these are alleged. I wasn't there, but we heard it. These things trend online, where they pay girls to have sex with dogs. So, and people have already said it. A lot of all these celebrities, a lot of all these girls you see carrying dogs around, most of them are not carrying it because they really love dogs. No, they are carrying it because they use those dogs for sexual pleasure. Now it's becoming real. It's becoming, it's beginning to look as if those things are actually very true. That a lot of those girls carrying dogs around are using those dogs for sexual pleasure. It's not as if they really love it, but it's what the dog can do for them. And that is why there have been videos which I wouldn't want to post, because of the sexual context. There are some videos where you see dogs, where people video dogs trying to mount a lady. Trying to mount a lady as if the dog wants to have sex and then start banging the lady in live videos. Of course, dog doesn't know if you are recording or not. They don't care about that. They are not humans. They don't have kind of sense. So you see where people record dogs when they see a lady, they jump on the lady and they start mounting the lady. And then you start wondering, what would have led this dog to do this if the dog has not been doing it before? So that dog must have been doing that same thing before. That is why it felt comfortable to still do it again when it saw the lady. So it's actually true. And there have been videos also we've seen where dogs were licking up ladies, licking them up. And then you start wondering, are these people actually okay? Are they sick or something? Because obviously I guess they need, some therapy session or whatever thing, psychological analysis or whatever. Because this is looking crazy. You couldn't have sex with another guy or another human. Now it has to be dogs. Now imagine the kind of diseases you can pick up from that. And then the regular guy will show up tomorrow and be like, oh, this beautiful lady. And then he wants to get down with the girl. He doesn't know that the girl has been getting down with the dogs. Now, disease starts spreading. And they will start wondering. There was a time we even had allegation or heard some things that this HIV that we are worried about was actually from dogs. Those are just back in the days. I don't know how real that is, but there was a time it was actually very hyped that the HIV was from dogs. Girls that used to have sex with dogs, that's how they contracted the HIV, and then people that had sex with them contracted it as well, and then it began to spread. Because on a normal day, HIV is not supposed to be a thing. It's not supposed to be a problem for humans because humans started having sex with animals, the dogs, and then now it has transferred. I think that's called bestiality or something. Yeah, I think something like that. So in this case of this lady now that went online to talk about all her deeds, talk about these dogs and everything. Guess what? Normal, typical Nigerian people, typical Africans, when we see these immoralities, we condemn it. But it's unfortunate that sometimes the way we condemn it might not be the right way. Like people can start getting at you directly. People can start abusing you, start looking for your name, your pictures to put it out there, to tout your image and abuse you for doing that and they might be right to some extent. I mean, not completely. They might be right just so as to warn you that that thing you are doing is not good. Because when you mess up, it's going to affect the whole society. It's going to affect everybody. If you have sex with a dog, or if you are living with a dog and things like that, and then you are becoming a menace to society because another guy will sleep with you tomorrow. So you are going to share whatever disease you got from that dog to that guy, and that guy will share it to the next guy. And then before you know, the whole society is sick. So when people come at people to try to shame them, to some extent, it tries to caution them to stop what they are doing and also caution others that have not started not to start. But unfortunately, when it becomes very bad, not everybody can actually take accusation. Not everybody can take shaming. Not everybody can take that kind of advice, that kind of shaming that this thing you did was not good. Not everybody can take it. So unfortunately, it can lead to issues, depression and the rest of that. And now in the case of this girl now, we heard that the girl has committed suicide. Some people are saying that it happened before the video was released, and some are saying it happens because the video was released. But you know how these things are. The main video was recorded, but it was not released immediately. Snippet was released before the main video, so as to build anticipation. But even that snippet that was released was now the main kicker. That was the main thing that caused all the problem. Now we heard that the girl has committed suicide. Unfortunately, rest in peace to her. But I think this should sound as a note of warning to other people out there. If you know you don't have a strong mental state to carry shame and the rest of them, to carry people abusing you and coming for you, I don't think you should go on this podcast. This podcast is not for everybody. You are not mandated to share your story. And this whole thing, this woke thing that we have now, you have share your story, you want to share your story, you don't have to, you can't stop someone from sharing their story. Yeah, you can share your story, but can you hold back? Can you withstand the pressure that will come from that story you are sharing? Some stories are actually not meant to be shared. I mean, believe you me, we don't want to hear everything. Forget the delusion that people have that they want to hear everything, they want to know everything. No, some things are not meant to be told. Some stories are not meant to be shared because they're going to cause more harm than good. And you'll be like, yes, when people share their story, people get to learn from it, understand how this thing happened and how that happened. Not all stories are to be shared. Yeah. You only share those you believe, okay, this will help. But there are some stories that are damaging that, okay, if you think in the first place, why do they have to hide their face? They're hiding their face because of the stigma that's going to come with it. Now it's already proven that there's a signal with it that comes with it. There's also this guy that does the same video. The guy started his channel newly, and the channel is growing. Unfortunately, people want to hear this, but it's not good for them. There was a guy that started the channel as well, based on that, talking about girls that are addicted to pornography, to masturbation, those that have been assaulted, those that have been raped, those that have had multiple sex, those that have had some flings, some dirty sex experience. Those are the kind of stories that the guy tells, or the guy brings people to tell, and he covers their faces. Yeah, you might think they're covering their faces, but someone that knows them still know they are the one. There's no way that nobody will know you. Someone will know you. Your friend will know you. Your friend's friend will know you. So even if you cover your face, they know your dress, they know your shape, they know your voice. So eventually, they are still going to know that you are the one making that confession. If assuming they are covering them up completely, nobody is seeing them, and their voice is being changed, fine. Anybody can tell whatever shit they want to tell. But as long as people can still identify you, they are going to pin that stigma to you. There's no way you are running away from it. So you have to be careful. I don't think every story should be shared. No. Dead that notion. Dead it. Not all stories need to be shared. Some story need to be dead with. Yeah. Go and die with it. We don't want to hear it. Because some stories do more harm than good. You might think you are helping people by talking about some stories, but eventually now make people become bad. Like people sharing stories of how they did some sex, sex escapade and things like that. Now, some people will listen to that with a pure mind that have not even thought of that, those kind of adventure before. They've not thought of those kind of experiences before. But when they now hear you, they'll be like, oh, maybe so this is even possible. Oh, this person did this. Oh, maybe I should try this. Now you have influenced that person that listened to you negatively. When you thought you are sharing your experience to help people, to bring awareness. Now you are influencing people negatively. Because this set of people haven't thought of that before. They weren't even thinking of it. But now that you've said it to them, you've spoken it out, they've heard it, then I say, okay, let me go and try it too. Now it becomes a problem for them. So, RIP to the girl though. I think this video is getting longer, but I think you get my message. Not all stories should be shared. Not all. Some stories need to be held back. Yes, some needs to be shared, but not all. You should know the one to share and the one not to share. If you think it's going to cause harm to you and to others too, why are you sharing it? And if you think, okay, it's going to help, then share it. But if you're already covering your face and sharing this, you know that that's a red flag to show that that story is either going to harm you if it gets known that you are the one that shared it, or it's going to harm someone. That's why you're covering your face in the first place. So if you are bold enough and know that that story is real, is genuine, is going to help, you shouldn't cover your face and you should be ready for whatever consequences that comes with it. But when you start covering your face and you think you are help, yeah, let me share it. Fine, you share it, but it might affect someone negatively. So filter your stories and know which ones are good to be shared and which ones are good to be written and which one is good to be put out completely anonymously. Because just covering your face doesn't hide who you are. People still know your voice, people know your shape, people know your physique, people know your gestures, people know your complexion, so they can still trace it back to you. So that's what I got to say about this, guys, and I hope that this will help someone out there. So you guys creating this kind of podcast, maybe I will start a podcast tomorrow. No, we are able to interview them as well. But I think we should be cautious of all this kind of method of bringing out information that get to harm people or put people in a position of danger. That is my thought. That's my view on this. Thank you.